Despite a shaky start, Barca pull away with a away win against Real Oviedo. Now this was a good game. I'm lucky I was able to sit down and watch it. That first half was something. Real Oviedo just promoted. If y'all don't know, that's a club that's Santi Cazorla. That's his boyhood club that he helped promote back to La Liga. And he's still playing at 41 years old. And he went through surgeries and all that. And the fact that he's still playing, man, kudos to him, man. Kudos to Santi Cazorla. He's a legend of the game. And it's just cool to see him still playing, still kicking it about, and still being competitive in one of the best leagues in the world. But that first half, Barca looked a shell of themselves. They could not hold possession. They could not play the Barca way. And Real Oviedo took advantage of that. It was a very lackluster Barca performance and a banger from Real Oviedo. And man, a couple Real Oviedo players I want to shout out before I get into the Barca glaze in the second half. Eric Bailly in 2025. If you told a United fan 7 years ago he would still be kicking it in one of the best leagues in the world, injury set him back, but he was always such a quality player. And he still shows it to this day. He was one of Oviedo's best players on the pitch. He was bossing around Fernan Torres, Dani Olmo, Rashford, and Rafinha all in that first half. That whole defense was ran through him. And yeah, man, shout out to Eric Bailly. But Real Oviedo, they were the better team in the first half. And you can tell Barca was losing that midfield battle. So the second half, Frankie de Jong had to come on. Marc Casado, he did all right, but the double pivot with Pedri and de Jong, nothing can match it. Nothing can match it in world football right now. The second half, de Jong comes on. Oviedo is winning 1-0 at home, and it's looking like an upset. But Barca turned it up in the second half. With de Jong coming on, there's some balance in the midfield. They start playing the way they usually play. You know how Pedri and de Jong pass the ball around. The best tempo dictators in the world. The best... they're both probably top 5 midfielders in the world currently. Just the way they play so well together. Like, they complement each other so well. It's a sight to watch. In the second half, the Real Oviedo fans, they were into it. It was a lot of... Barca was able to keep possession again. And eventually, out of all people, Ronald Araujo takes on Real Oviedo's right back, beats him down the byline, puts in a good ball, and Fernan Torres, he actually does a very good job getting a shot off. I'm not sure what Dendoker's doing in that position. He has to do better. But Fernan Torres twists him, is able to get a shot off, and I thought that shot was going in. It kind of surprised the goalkeeper. I think that's why it was such a measly save. He kind of just hit it. He kind of just got as much contact on it as he can. And Eric Garcia was the most awake out of everybody. He's able to tap it into the net, and Barca tie the game. And once that happens, it's all Barca. You know, Real Oviedo has some chances for counterattacks, has some chances, but it's pretty much Barca for those next 20 minutes after they score a goal. Another substitution that was very vital was Rafinha coming out for Lewandowski. It happened very quick. I was like, who came out for who? Yada. And not even maybe 2 to 3 minutes later, Lewandowski proves that was the right substitution to make and scores a bullet header into the top corner. Frankie de Jong gets the ball off the throw-in, takes a touch, no one pressures him, plays a great ball into the box, and Lewandowski makes a run between 3 Real Oviedo defenders. And I know I was glazing Eric Bailly in the first half, but he beats Eric Bailly to a header, and it's just such a great finish. Such a great finish. I think it was his first touch in the game. And man, that's just the best striker of the generation, bar Luis Suarez. All right, shoot me. But it's such a great finish. That's what a number 9 is all about. You don't need too many touches. You just need one, and boom, it's a goal. It was a great finish by Lewandowski. And 2-1, Barca take the lead. And yeah, after that, I think Real Oviedo did get back into the game a little bit. There was some chances. Gerard Martin, he was getting cooked. He was getting cooked on that right-hand side. Eventually, Koundé came in to replace him, and that made the defense look a little bit better. But they moved Eric Garcia over there to left back, and he was getting cooked as well. Most of Real Oviedo's chances in the second half all came from that right-hand side against Gerard Martin and Eric Garcia once he switched over. It was not a good outing for them, but they survived. and Barca ended up scoring one more goal. It was a corner by the GOAT, Marcus Rashford. No one's really covering Araujo, and he's probably the tallest player on the pitch. It's an easy header, 3-1, game over, game set, done. Real Oviedo has a couple more chances towards the end of the game. Very good saves by John Garcia at the end, but Barca's able to pull it out, and now they just sit 2 points behind Madrid for the top of the table. And I think this was a very important win for Barca. I think all these games are important, especially without Yamal. If you're able to grind out these games without your best player, it brings the team together, right? Because a lot of times when Barca play, it's just give it to Yamal and pray. Like, please do something. But for them to be able to pull out these wins, come back from behind, and away from home. And then another note on Real Oviedo. I think they're for sure staying up this season. I think the way they play as a team, and going there is not easy. All the fans get into it, tense place to play, and I definitely see them staying up. And if you know about Real Oviedo, shout out Spencer FC. That's the main reason. That's one of the main reasons why I know who Real Oviedo is as a club. I remember watching him, his manager mode, his career mode with them when I was younger. So shout out Real Oviedo. It's cool to see him in La Liga. I think that's fire. But yeah, I definitely see him staying up this season. As far as Barca, they have a hard stretch of games coming up. On the weekend, they have Sociedad. And then next week in the Champions, they got PSG. Then they got Sevilla. They got Girona. They got Olympiacos in the Champions. And then they got Madrid. Those 5-6 games is really going to prove what this Barca team is made of, because I don't think any of those games are an easy game. Definitely going to be interesting how they play against PSG, especially coming off playing against Sociedad. We'll see, man. I think Yamal is back for the weekend, so that's definitely a plus for this Barca side. But yeah, nonetheless, it was a good outing for Barca. We'll see what they make of their next couple of games. I'll keep an eye out for them for sure. And I'm just happy my goal, Marcus Rashford, got another assist. Hey, he's racking up those goals and assists, all right? Next season, man. Dembele won his Ballon d'Or after being a wonder kid. Why not make it 2 years in a row? Another wonder kid comes back, makes the most of his career, fulfills his potential, and wins the Ballon d'Or. Next season, Marcus Rashford is winning the Ballon d'Or. No, I hope. Really am keeping an eye on his performances for Barca. I'm glad he's fitting more into the system. I do think he needs to do a little bit more with his performances, but he's able to get another assist, so you can't complain too much. We'll see what else his future holds at Barca. Hopefully he keeps on playing better, becomes more comfortable in the Hansi Flick system, is able to score more goals. But as for Barca, it could have been a bad outing, but they were able to come back as a team. And yeah, man, we'll see what happens in the next couple games. That's gonna do it all for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.